Omnipresence, it's something that is extremely important in my opinion because you want to be able to scale your growth in a way where you're leveraging multiple platforms. You're gaining attention from your audience on all 7 platforms. The benefits of this is through the roof. You're growing your YouTube, you're getting money from the creator program whilst you're also leveraging your Pinterest fans, you're leveraging your TikTok fans, you're getting all of the pros and cons of all the 7 platforms. It's just a ton of work. However, whenever you have something that is extremely difficult and you want to do it consistently, then you have to find ways how to make them simple. And the way in which you make things that are very hard simple is through systems. With my system, I have been able to post on all 7 platforms effortlessly for the past 4 months. This is going to be easy for me for the next year, 3 years, or 5 years as I continue to improve on my system. But my system today, for taking 1 day worth of work and turning it into 1 week worth of content. That 1 week of content is 1 long form video and 14 short form videos from that video. Obviously, this is all post-production, so I record my video and then I will start off with Descript. In Descript, I will then upload my video, allow it to transcribe all of my video. I then will utilize their feature to remove all of the filler words immediately because I say a lot of filler words. So it removes all of the filler words easily with a click of a button. The next step that I do is to then listen to the entire thing at about 1.75 playback. That way I'm able to hear the corrections and go through the video much faster. I delete all of the corrections, all of the repetitions, all of the mistakes. I then go and correct the word gaps. Sometimes I will be talking and then other times I'll just take a long pause. Long pauses are something that I don't personally like in my edits. So I try my best to connect my words and delete all of the word gaps. So they have a software there that you're able to set the parameter for how much amount of silence do you want it to be sensitive to, and it will find all of the word gaps that are obeying that threshold that you set earlier. So I normally do that and I remove all of my word gaps, and once I'm done I will publish it on the website and download the finished product. Before I export, if there are also a lot of audio problems or maybe I want my audio to sound a little bit better, there may be a lot of background audio, then I will use the studio sound feature that they also have inside of Descript, which is really good. I play with it sometimes because sometimes there are some artifacts, but yeah, and then I publish, I download the video, and then I move into the action plan. I've said it before, but in every single video that I do, I love to let people understand the actual actions that they need to take. I'm not just all about theory. I'm like, hey, you need to actually move the needle. You need to use the information that I'm giving to you for your betterment, and the only way you're able to do that and get results is to act. So I create an action plan, and the way in which I do this, I take the script that I created with Descript, which is the transcription of my video, and then I will plug it into ChatGPT. So I have a script that I've created where it's isolating all of the topics that I have done inside of the video, and then for each topic I will state all of the theoretical stuff, all the actions that they need to do, and it will list all of the action steps that people need to take to achieve what they need to achieve and get results for that specific topic. The criteria that I use is on screen now. That is a template that I've used because it's a mix of actions and challenges as well as statistics. This will help a lot of people to improve their workflow. And this used to be just an image type of workflow for me, but then I realized I could leverage it through video. I could get a better response and better reach if I use video. So I then use 11 Labs to create a voiceover of my action plan script and create a voice clone of that. Then after I get that voice clone, I put it inside of my action plan template. I've created an action plan template because I used to create action plans and they weren't the best looking, and I used to create them on the fly. Then I realized that if I just sat back and created a template, that everything would go by pretty fast, pretty simple. So I spend 1 hour on Descript and 1 hour on my action plans now. And at the end of my 1 hour session for action plans, I have 7 different videos. They're all in portrait format. I also have a square video format that goes inside of my long form and reels format, but I'll get to those shortly. And I also get like image output still of my action plan. So if I still want to post it on my Instagram stories, my TikTok stories, my Facebook stories, or my YouTube community post, then I could do that. The next step after I finish my action plan is to focus on reference media. Now I will import my video inside of Adobe After Effects because that's where I am most proficient, and I will find the areas that needs reference media there. I have an engagement guide that I've created. I usually do a reference media after every 3 seconds, but I found that was a little bit too intense. So I extended that to now something coming on screen every 5 seconds. So after every 5 seconds, there's a guide layer there that shows me, hey, something needs to go here. And I will then use that and look at that area, examine what is being said in that area, and then I will find an appropriate media. Whether I need to screen record something, I need to find a GIF, I need to put on the facts and details, or I use my action plan. My action plan, it is very important information that people still need to see on screen, and it will also help them to just change up the look and the feel of the video. So I will use like a square version of my action plans right there in reference media as well. After I've placed in all of my reference media, I normally have like about 150 different clips and medias that I need to put inside of my videos. After I've done so, I then move on to transitions. Transitions are very important to me. I think that every video should have transitions, especially when you're using reference medias and stock footage and all these type of things. I use camera transitions, I use glitches, I use flares, I use 3D parallax transitions, and all of these can be found in the handy seamless transition. It's a transition pack I got a couple years ago, and the truth is I haven't looked back since. It's a really well built pack, but I know that it is really good on Adobe After Effects and Premiere Pro. I think people can use it in Premiere Pro, but I use Adobe After Effects. We can use anything. I normally put a transition at the beginning and the ending of every single reference media, every divider, every single thing that is coming on the entire screen. I have a transition for that, and I've worked out a nice little system where I will duplicate all of my reference media, and then I will replace them with transitions and then adjust them accordingly, so I don't have to place in 130 transitions for the in and then another 130 for the out. That's taking a long time. So I actually just achieve 270 transitions by a couple shortcuts. Yeah, you have to be lazy to be successful. So the next step is to move on to Captions. With Captions, I use the app Captions, which is AI powered. I take my audio, I render out a version of my video that has no visuals, and it's just my audio that is being said, and it's a black video. And then upload that video into Captions, and it will listen to my audio and it will write the captions on screen. After it does that, I will stylize the captions, put them in the right positioning. I actually just make sure that they're not cut off. That's it. And then I put them in the right color. I've already created an animation template there, and everything that needs to look the way it needs to look there already. So I just do this very quickly. It doesn't even take me 1 hour to do my captions. It takes me like maybe 20 minutes to do all of my captions. So yeah, then I export that, put that inside of Adobe After Effects, and I will remove the black background because again, I rendered it out with no video. So I will take out the black background and just leave the captions. I add a glow to it. I put it in the right position for my video, and that's it for captions. After that, I move directly to Reels. With Reels, I cut my Reels out of my long form video. And that is why I have to make every single video valuable. I have to make every video packed with at least 7 different topics, 7 different good topics that can stand on their own, because that's how I make my short form content. And then I will cut out the specific 20 to 30, maybe to 40-second reel that I would like to get out of my video, right? Each topic gets a reel. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have 7 reels. I then will treat that, make sure there aren't any overlaps. Sometimes you might start off the video and it's a bad place to start off the video in terms of reference media and transitions. I'll remove the transitions and make sure that each reel has a good flow. We personalize the reels and make sure that they look good and not just look just like a cut and paste out of a long form video. It almost looks as if it was made specifically for Instagram or specifically for TikTok. That's how I do it. After I finish cutting out my reels, I will then add a headline to my reels. This is speaking about what is this specific reel answering, the question, what somebody could possibly be asking me, and I could be answering them with the response of this video. I will also add background music to that reel, and then I will add a thumbnail to the first 10 frames of the video. Reason why I add my thumbnail to the first 10 frames of the video is because it allows me to automatically set the thumbnail picture on TikTok, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on all these platforms. My thumbnail just automatically set to whatever is at the first 10 frames of my video. The only place that this does not work is on YouTube Shorts, because they take your thumbnail image from a random point of the video, but all of the remaining 6 platforms, they take your thumbnail picture from the first frames of your video. I capitalize on that and put my thumbnail there, so my feed will have a more themed and organized look. So if people are looking for a specific video, they can easily see that based on my thumbnail, and I don't also have to go in and add a specific thumbnail for every single video. Imagine changing the thumbnail for 14 videos per day. That is very hard, and it's just, for me, it's impossible to remain consistent doing something like that. So this was my shortcut to doing that. After that, my reels are done, and I will then move on to focusing only on my long form video. At that point, I will then add in the dividers of that video to make sure that each chapter get its own divider. What is the topic of this chapter? Then I will delete the overlaps of reference medias and transitions to those chapters and dividers that I just put in. I will then add my reminders. I may add background music. I'll probably add black bars, and that's all I do for my long form. I then render out all of my videos at Apple ProRes 422. I review everything, and I go through for any form of errors or corrections. And this is how I take one video and I get 15 pieces of content out of it. I get 1 long form and 14 short form videos. I think that I can get even more content out of my videos. I just don't have the capacity to extract even more value from them. I already have this system written down, but I haven't been executing on it. But it's a system where I will use the transcript of my video to create text posts for Twitter or for LinkedIn or for Facebook. These are the 3 platforms that take text posts really well, and I will then attach those text posts that I create for them with an appropriate GIF so that it's more visually pleasing. Also, I could then develop a system for image posts. I could use my script and then I could say what was like my best sentence from this video, or what were my 7 best sentences from this video. That way I'm able to post an image a day, and then I'll take that sentence and I'll put it on an image, like maybe in Canva, or I use Adobe After Effects. I use Adobe After Effects for every single thing. Yeah, except for I use Descript for editing now. I used to use Adobe After Effects for editing my videos. I believe every single creator should realize that just throwing away content, putting all of this effort into creating content, your audience haven't even really absorbed the amount of content that you just put all that effort in for. I just put in so much effort, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of my day to create a video. But I speak about so many things. It's so valuable. I mean, your videos would have to be valuable to extract this much from it, but that only makes you a better creator, in my opinion. So yeah, that's how I use one video to create 7 days worth of content. And also I do all of this in one day. And this is because I've been perfecting the system. I took a long time to get it down to one day. I will also be increasing my quality and my frequency. So this may have an effect on my turnaround time. And none of this has to talk about render time. This is also another thing that I've been optimizing. I've realized that yes, it is really good to have a really powerful machine, like building a PC and stuff like that. However, it is probably more important to optimize your projects. Optimizing my projects have been a game changer for me in terms of render times. I'm in the VFX world, so I have renders that go on for 24 hours, 48 hours, like really long renders, because we have to do 4K and huge amounts of data has to be on each frame. Like it will take so much time to render one frame of the videos that we do for our clients sometimes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you in the next one.